Good evening, traders. It's 4:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on June 23rd. Having a pretty good time in the chat room over here. If you haven't seen it yet, get in there and check it out. And what can I say about today? Pretty much doji, right below resistance now after being broken as support. So a fairly range-bound day. You can see that from that doji action. And here is a 3-minute chart if I scrunch it up. This is the open of the day. Right through here, run up on the news like I said at noon. Bit of a sell-off, watched all this happen, higher swing low, tried to work its way out of that. I kind of had a machination around at 89.80 and the $90 mark, which you already know is good resistance from this daily chart, which we just talked about. So not surprising to see the markets vacillate like this on some of our trend lines even, or horizontal support and resistance as well. And it's just a nice low base. Got a little bit of a few higher swing lows through here. Running right into the declining 50 MA on a 15-minute chart, and if you scrunch out a little bit into a 60, you'll see that we did have one test, I would say, the 88.80 area, which is pretty good, and then also the next support at 88.50. I could see that being relevant. If you look back in time again, there's that gap, a couple tests of that. So if we continue to base on our low, we will be seeing relative weakness then compared to usual. If it works its way higher, makes a higher swing low, maybe even a run back up into a 50% retracement of the sell-off from yesterday, that would put us right back at this 91, let's say 90.65 area. So right through here, get rid of this to get rid of some of those lines, but this area right here, so make a little ellipse. You guys can see it. That'd be a great area to look for resistance, and also it would be part of a round number of 91 and a gap fill. So that would be my resistance on the way back up. And again, the trend, for the most part, here's the day, right, on the S&P 500. The trend actually spent most of the day below 1.0. Just actually had a couple of tests of the 1.0 region. Trend Q, however, took a little while to come back down below 1, then used that as resistance also. Never got so terribly bullish, but I would say 2 to 1 is not bad at all. So at least that was not confirming a downward move. And the VIX didn't sell off enough to have any confirmation to go along either. So it's a perfect consolidation day. Anytime you would have looked at it, anytime we were watching in the chat room, one was just not confirming the other. And again, it makes it just a little bit more speculative to trade long or short in that kind of environment. So that's what I see in the markets. Let's go out a couple time frames, talk about daily charts. We already know that we're sitting and testing now the support area, and also now we know our resistance area on the way back up. Time frame out of that is just a nice gentle pullback out of this beautiful 100% retracement of this run, which is also the 50% retracement of a larger time frame. So there we are. If I'm looking for anything on a weekly chart, again, it'll be a higher swing low through here. If we can hold up at support, 38.2 just happens to be this exact number right through here, and that'll be important. So for longer term time frame, that's what I'm seeing. I also see the volume dropping off here with one little spike yesterday. Right? Not at all irrelevant, but just be careful how you paint that picture. The move sideways today on low volume, that's good. One thing that didn't quite match to me, if I'm just babbling here for a minute, is that yesterday we closed almost exactly on our low. If that volume had been a little bit higher even, usually you get a good bit of a sell-off after that, especially if the support hadn't been here. So no profit taking. Nobody wants to take their position off the table at the end of the day. That says a lot about the sentiment read into the next day. With a nice consolidation, this is not at all rare. This happens a lot after a big sell-off like this. It doesn't look as big as some of these previous bars on the S&P, but since the volatility has dropped, that's not any kind of slacker of a bar. So very cool. Anyway, that's what I see. It's been great working with you guys today in the chat room especially. Send your comments. They are always appreciated. You can post them under my videos over D7s, and I will go forward from there. Good stuff, everybody. Take care, and have a good night.